It is hard to believe such a thing could be true, and I hope such thing never happens to you. But it happened, they say, to poor Mayzie McGrew. It happened like this. She was sitting one day at her desk in her school, in her usual way, then she felt a small twitch on the top of her head. So Mayzie looked up and she almost dropped dead. Something peculiar was growing on there. A daisy was sprouting right out of her hair. Boing! Behind her was sitting young Herman Butch Strudel. This looks like a daisy up here on her noodle. It doesn't make sense why it couldn't be so. A noodle's no place for a daisy to grow. Then up spoke another boy, Einstein Van Tass, the brightest young boy in the whole of the class. It is a very odd place to be sprouting a daisy, but nevertheless one is growing on Mayzie. Hey, look it, cried Butch. Right here in this room, Daisy hid Mayzie. She is budding in bloom. Miss Snitcher the teacher came rushing up quick. Such nonsense. Some chap is playing a trick. Which one of you boys stuck that thing in her hair? You know that a daisy could never grow there. But teacher, said Butch, I saw the thing rise out of her head, with my very own eyes. Just give it a yank if you think I tell lies. Miss Snitcher had heard quite enough of this talk. Mayzie, hold still. Let me get at that stalk. Ouch, howled Mayzie. Quit yanking, Butch said. You're giving her pains. I'll bet that those roots go way down in her brain. The kids in the room started shouting like crazy. Daisy's hate, Daisy's hate, Daisy hate Mayzie. Daisy hate, Daisy hate, Daisy hate Mayzie. Children, be quiet. Miss Nature was puzzled. Good grief. And alas, to think this has happened right here in my class. I have taught in this room 20 years, maybe more, but I have never seen anything like this before. I will have to report it. You'll just have to come to the principal's office and show Mr. Graham. Now the principal, good Mr. Gregory Graham, was a very wise man, just as smart as they come. He knew more than anyone else in this nation about long division and multiplication. He knows all the answers, why oceans are deep, why skies are so high, and why mountains are steep. He should have the answer to this thing on Mayzie. My word, he declared, it is a genuine daisy. I have seen them quite often in fields growing wild, but never before on the head of a child. Now, what in the world ever made this thing sprout? I have no idea, but I'm going to find out. It says daisies grow on land, they grow between rocks, they grow also in sand. It mentions right here that they can grow in a pot, but mention the head of a girl, it does not. Daisies, it says, sometimes grow in Alaska, also Missouri, Rhode Island, Nebraska. They grow in Japan and in Spain and Peru, in India, France, and in Idaho too. They grow in South Boston and also in Rome, but why should they grow on this little dome? Say, look it, said Mayzie. It's wilting, said teacher. How wonderful, Mayzie. It soon will be dead. You would be rid of that daisy in just a few minutes. Our troubles will pass, declared Dr. Drum. Take her back to the class. Then the principal saw a most terrible sight. The daisy was dying, and that was all right, but The daisy was part of poor Mayzie McGrew, and Mayzie was starting to wilt away too. "Teacher," said Graham, "you know what I think? They are both going to die. Hurry, bring them a drink. This is a problem," said Graham with a frown. "You take Mayzie away and you make her lie down. You lock her up tight in that room down the hall. There are quite a few numbers that I'm going to call." "Get Mrs. Mother on the end of the line. I need her here quickly while there is still time." Mrs. Mom asked, "What's all the fuss?" "Goodness to Betsy. I'll be on the next bus." A call to the shoe store reached Mr. McGrew. He answered while holding a customer's shoe. "She is drawing a what? I'm coming right there." And he ran out of the shoe store with no time to spare. "A doctor should see her," the principal said, "and an expert on plants like the one on her head." So he called Dr. Eisenbach, who said, "Goodness gracious, a child with a head that is particularly herbaceous. I simply must see this. I will come over to you." And his patient, though shirtless, came to see it too. The Graham crowd finished. The florist should grab for his shears. "I will be there as fast as my truck can shift steers." Meanwhile, poor Mayzie lay down on the couch. The daisy slumped down on its stem in a slouch, but the window was open because it was warm, and the sweet-smelling daisy attracted a swarm of bees, 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 bees.